Get ready for a tale full of suspense and eerie surprises. Don't miss a second. Watch the video until the very end to uncover every terrifying twist and turn. Chapter 1: A storm rolls in. The day started just like any other in Maple Bay, the small fishing village perched on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean. The morning sun warmed the salt-stained docks. I, Anna Gale, walked along Main Street, waving to neighbors as they opened shops and swept their stoops. Our community was tight-knit, everyone knew everyone. That afternoon, the sky grew heavy with dark, swirling clouds. An unexpected storm slammed the coast, sending fishermen racing home and shuttering businesses early. Powerful winds howled, bending the ancient pine trees that watched over the village for centuries. As night fell, the entire bay was wrapped in a thick, unnatural fog. My best friend Mason called me on my way home. He said something strange washed up at the Rocky Point Cove, a place fishermen avoided after dark. Curiosity got the better of me. I told Mason to wait for me there, grabbed a flashlight and raincoat, and set off on my bike. When I reached the cove, I saw Mason crouched near a tangled mass of wet seaweed and gleaming shells. The storm had thrown a giant, slick mass onto the shore, but it wasn't seaweed. It pulsed and shivered, almost like it was breathing. A chill ran down my spine. "What is it, Anna?" Mason whispered, his eyes wide. I forced myself to kneel beside him. Something moved, quick and small, within the slimy mass. Lightning flashed, and for a moment, a shape, slick and coiled, shimmered under my light. Mason and I stared at each other. Neither of us wanted to stick around, so we ran home through the wet darkness as the thing on the beach twitched behind us. Chapter 2: Signs and Warnings. By sunrise, the storm had passed, but whispers spread across Maple Bay like wildfire. People spoke of missing pets and strange sounds echoing from the shoreline. Fishermen refused to go back out to sea, and even the bravest ones came home that afternoon with empty nets and frightened faces. At breakfast, my mom asked if I'd heard about the livestock disappearing from old McDougal's farm. When I shook my head, she said 3 goats and his dog had vanished, with only huge, wet prints left in the mud. I met Mason by the docks to talk about what we'd seen. He said he hadn't slept, because he kept hearing slapping noises outside his window all night. We agreed not to tell anyone, it was too crazy, and neither of us wanted to sound like we'd lost our minds. But our secrets didn't last long. Mrs. Graves, the science teacher and town expert on anything odd, heard rumors about the cove. She visited me at my house, asking questions until I cracked and told her everything. Her face turned serious. "You both need to be careful. A creature like that doesn't come without reason. Nature reacts for a reason. Stay away from the water tonight." I promised, but my curiosity burned brighter than my fear. That night, Mason and I returned to the cove, flashlights and nets in hand. Something called to us, a deep, distant humming, like the ocean itself was whispering secrets. Chapter 3: The Creature Revealed. Thunder rumbled far off as we made our way along the pebbled beach. The water was slick, moonlit, and silent. Mason's hand shook as he pointed his flashlight at the spot where we'd seen the thing. It was gone. Suddenly, a splash. We whirled around. Barely 20 feet from us, something enormous heaved itself out of the surf, long tentacles dragging across the rocks, a body like a huge, armored slug, glistening black as the night. Its round mouth puckered open, flashing rows of glassy, razor-sharp teeth. One tentacle lurched toward us. We scrambled backwards, tripping and slipping as another wriggling arm lashed the air. Our screams brought someone running. It was Mrs. Graves, armed with a rusty harpoon. She jabbed at the creature and yelled at us to run. We bolted through the woods, branches whipping our arms and faces until we were sure we'd lost it. Safe behind the doors of Mrs. Graves' cottage, she explained what she knew. It's not of our world, she said. Maybe asleep for centuries, awoken by the storm. But it's hungry. And it's not alone. These things, they call others. I finally believed her. The next day, we saw the evidence for ourselves. Thousands of small, slimy trails in the sand, tiny mouths gnawed into driftwood, and oily, inky slicks in the tidipools. Chapter 4, The Plan. By now, panic was spreading. People barricaded their doors, too scared to speak above a whisper. Everyone knew something was out there, but only a few believed the whole truth. We needed a plan. Mrs. Graves had a theory. The creatures only came out when water levels were high, and when the air smelled like fresh rain. She also noticed they avoided the smell of alcohol. When she'd splashed bourbon on her shoes earlier that morning, one of the smaller monsters twisted away and slid back into the water. Get everyone in one place, she said, somewhere high and dry, with enough alcohol about to keep them at bay. We can't fight them underwater, but maybe we can make the village safe above the ground. We ran from house to house, hauling startled neighbors to the old community hall at the top of Whale Hill. The wind picked up, rattling the shutters. Mason volunteered at the bar, lining up bottles from every home, whiskey, rum, even mouthwash. The scent was sharp and sickly in the air. Outside, the fog rolled in, thick as soup. The screams started soon after, first from the edges of the village, then nearer, as people realized those who hadn't joined us were being picked off. All we could do was wait and pray the creatures would not breach our defenses. Chapter 5, The Longest Night. That night blurs in my memory. Shadows twisted outside the windows. We heard squelching, slapping sounds and, now and then, something battering at the doors with wet, angry force. Every light was turned on in the hall, and Mrs. Graves took turns pouring drinks for even the children, an act that would have been scandalous any other night, but one that perhaps saved us all. Mason and I huddled by the entrance with heavy sticks. Nobody slept. The creatures tried again and again to force their way in, leaving inky slime and long dented marks in the wood, but none of them dared cross the threshold where the smell of alcohol was strongest. Around dawn, the attacks stopped. The sound faded and the fog began to lift. Slowly, one by one, we dared to open the doors and step outside. The sky was bruised pink and gray. The village was a mess. Boats smashed on the rocks, beach houses wrecked, seaweed tangled everywhere, but we were alive. I knew the things would return if ever the bay was unguarded again. So, we left warnings for travelers, cleaned up as best we could, and kept our stores of booze close. Mrs. Graves began researching, desperate to discover if anyone, anywhere else, had faced something so strange. I still hear the slapping of their tentacles sometimes when the rain falls hard at night. If you enjoyed this tale inspired by Grabbers, 2012, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, give the video a like, share it with your friends, and leave a comment about the scariest part for you. Your support keeps the darkness at bay.